ChiBro and Sons presents The Road to Kelowna. So before I start, there's actually someone I want to introduce you to, my little camera guy. Say hello to Octo Guy. As you can see, he's all arms, unlike Rawr, who unfortunately cannot quite reach the camera and manage the camera properly. Octo Guy is the best possible candidate for the job. More on him later. He's a little camera shy. Anyways, so week 2 of my report on my road to Kelowna. First off, man, my shoulders are sore. But that's all good though. They're not in pain, they're sore, so there's actually a distinct difference there. So this is the better of the two, arguably. We had to hit all the stations today since we kept running out of time on Wednesday and Friday. Because it was like, what, 5 minutes before the gym closed, and we still usually had like 1, maybe 2 stations to go. So we absolutely had to hit all the stations today. So we were at the gym far longer than we normally would be. Anyways, so starting this week, my goal was for, on bench, 1 plate 5 to do a 6x6 clean all week long. Now, Wednesday and Friday, I definitely didn't hit it. On Friday, it's mainly because I ended up miscounting how many reps I was doing in my sets. I ended up dropping a number. So, I mean, had I actually counted them properly, I probably would have made it. Today, though, I definitely hit my target, and so much so that I actually did a set of 7 for my last set. So it looks like in the coming week, I'm probably going to be going up to 1 plate 10, so that's a pretty hefty jump. I should have no issues with that. So. Deadlifts were definitely a disappointment this week. I wasn't recovered on Wednesday from when we were there on Sunday last week. So I did what, like a 1x3 at 2 plate at the start of this week, and I dropped it to plate 35 and I did a 4x6, and I was like, you know what, no, I need to let myself recover from the previous weeks of deadlifting. So instead I focused more on squats this week. So that means I spent Friday and Saturday doing my squats. Friday, because I wanted to take it a bit easier, let my legs still do a little bit of recovery. I did 1 plate 25 for 6x8. I went volume instead of load. They were all clean except for my 3rd set where I had to rack on rep 6. Don't really remember why. I think I had to readjust my grip or something. And then today I did 2 plate for 4x4. I want to say that those were all clean, but I know that wasn't the case because I wasn't consistently hitting depth. My first 3 sets were actually pretty good. It was my 4th set that was, it left a little bit to be desired. And even so, it was only barely not hitting depth. So I think part of it's because my stance was pretty narrow in my 4th set. My first 3 sets, I had a slightly wider stance. And then I finished off with let's see, what did I do? Okay, yeah, I did an extra 1x5 at plate 35, and it was definitely messy. So, also in between my sets, I finally threw in bicep curls. Admittedly, I was avoiding doing these because I've been recovering from an elbow injury that I was cleared of back in January. Yeah, beginning of January. And obviously this had prevented me from doing a lot of bicep work because just the motion was putting a lot of strain on the tendons of my forearm. It was on the left side, so that certainly didn't help matters. It also made benching kind of difficult. So much so that I actually went about a month and a half not hitting the bench, and instead spent the time in physio just trying to get that, well, obviously the pain to go away so I could actually continue benching. Anyways, so I did the curls. Started out only doing one arm, so one, either my left side or my right side between sets. And then that was only for the first 2 sets of curls, and then from there on out I did both arms on each set for a grand total of 3 sets for 10 reps each. And these was only using a 20-pound dumbbell. I could probably add a little bit more weight to it and just reduce the number of reps that I'm doing, which is probably what I got to do this week. Go down to like a 20, go to a 25 and drop down to a set of 6 or a set of 8. Now lat pull downs. So far I've been doing 6 sets of 6, both with, you start with your inner grip, then your mid grip, and then your outer grip. I'm pretty sure I'm actually ready to go up in weight for my outer grip because they're getting a lot easier. So my inner grips are at 165 pounds, and my mid grip is the same, 165. My outer grip is 145, and that was substantially easier, especially today, but all week long. So that's a good sign. I'm probably going to actually add 1 extra rep to my sets for my outer grip, and then basically make them sets of 7. And if that goes well for the end of the week, I'm going to go up from 165 to 170. Nope, not 165 to 170. That's my inner grip. So my outer grip would go from 145 to 150. Okay, now next, back extensions. Well, I can't say I really enjoy them. I certainly don't hate them. They're kind of just there. But that said, I'm finding that my lower back and my quads are really building up from doing these. When I started, I was definitely having, like if I was doing, just holding myself out, holding a 45 plate, I would just start doing this. Now I have no issues just holding myself like this for about 30 seconds. And so I alternate between just doing a hold for 30 seconds and then doing sets of 10 on the extensions. And that was, well, today it was only 4 sets, but on Monday I did a full 6 sets. So I'm gonna actually look to grab a bar next week and bring that up to probably about 60-65 pounds and work out from there. Now rowing. Now this is actually one of my favorite auxiliary stations. Not quite sure why, but I really enjoy this one. So I'm working at 165 pounds for a 6x6, and it was clean all week long. I'll be adding a 7th rep to my sets next week, and if those come out clean, then it's on to 170. So that's definitely good. And then pec flies. Now these ones have actually been challenging for me because I'm working on keeping this shoulder, when I'm up, like this shoulder raises up. It's not like, you don't usually, like it's not huge, but you see it, like it raises up like this, and sometimes like, it comes down as I'm going and closing on the fly. But I'm working actually at trying to keep this shoulder down, because when it raises up, it actually is one of the big reasons why this shoulder ends up getting so sore by the end of the day when I'm at the gym. So obviously if I can work at preventing that from happening, it'll help with the shoulder pain that I get. So anyways, so those I'm right now doing at 145 pounds for a 6x6, but today I did a 5x6 and then dropped, because at set 5 I was just really losing control of the shoulder. So after set 5 we dropped it down to 137.5, and I was able to bang out a set without any difficulty, full control of my shoulder, so that was a good thing. And then next we have back flies. Yeah, truth be told, I hate these. They gotta be done, but I hate them. I never feel like they actually come out well. Aside from a bit of shoulder climb, which, again, is the same issue that I have with my back flies. Today, I actually think I was fairly clean on a 6x6 at 137.5 pounds, so that's actually a good thing. So I'm probably going to go another week, see how well I can control the shoulder climb to do my 6x6s, and if it comes out well, I'll be adding a seventh rep to the sets. Now, overhead press. I actually really enjoy this one. They're stupid difficult. You wouldn't think they'd be, but slap a 10-pound plate on each side of a heavy bar and lift that sucker over your head and just start pressing away. It gets a lot harder than you'd imagine. I was actually very surprised by this. But anyways, both of us were working at 95 pounds on these, and today I had my cleanest 6x6, and I was quite proud of that, because prior to this, on either set 3 or set 4, I was definitely losing my stability. I was shaking a lot as I was doing the work, so I was quite pleased at how that had come along. I'm probably going to add one more, or try to add one more rep to my sets next week. I'm going to definitely go for the 6x7. If that goes clean all week long, then it's up to the next weight, which will be 105 pounds, so you have extra 5 pounds on each side. Landmines. Okay, so at that point in the day, because this is usually our second to last exercise, today it was our third to last, because we still have glute bridges, overhead tricep pulls and face pulls to follow. But since we've done all the work at this point, these actually get to be fairly tough. So I'm doing 1 plate 5 on my landmines for our 6x8, and I've definitely come a long way with these. There's a lot more force, a lot more power behind them. When I actually went up to the plate 5, it was definitely a bit of a struggle, but now I'm definitely banging them out pretty good, so I'm actually quite happy with that. And I'm isolating my upper body to do it. For it being explosive, that's a little bit of kipping. I don't want to say it's okay, but you can kind of overlook it. I'm doing my best not to do kipping. So I'm going to be going up to plate 10 on these. I'm trying to match my deadlift weight. Not my deadlift weight, my bench press weight, sorry. Match my deadlift weight. 2 plate explosive landmines? Yeah, I don't think so. Not yet, anyways. I'll get there, but not right now. So I did those for a 6x8. Shockingly, despite my shoulders being sore, it didn't prevent me from doing these, which is good, because you're doing a lot of hinging motion with your shoulders. I was actually kind of expecting that to be a bit of a problem. It wasn't. What actually was kind of acting up was the back of my left knee. I think I pulled something there the other day, but hasn't really bothered me all day until I was doing landmines. Then glute bridges. So I'm told, apparently, whenever I'm doing glute bridges, I apparently look like I'm in an adult film. Who knew? Anyways, doing a plate 10 on these today. We're doing 6x10s, and it's actually kind of hard to know if we're doing these exactly right, if they're coming out clean or not, because we're really new to doing these. I think this is what, the second or third time we've ever done them. We're definitely integrating them at least once a week into our routine, so that's a good thing. But next week I'm going to go to plate 20 and I'm going to go 6x6 or 6x8. Probably going to go with 6x8, see how that works out. Try and bring my butt a little bit lower to the ground, because obviously you want to get as much of the muscles under tension and under load as much as possible. So it makes sense that would be what I want to do. So definitely making good progress there. Well, yeah, I guess you know what I mean. Anyways, next up would be the tricep pulls and the Superman pulls, because we do these together. And I'm running these right now at 145 pounds each. Now, the overhead tricep pulls, those are a good challenge. I like them. But I am definitely pulling off a clean 6x6 on both, and I'm going to go to 6x7 next week for sure. The face pulls, I'm actually not surprised. I'm doing fairly well with these. The muscles that are being used for this are actually fairly well developed from doing archery as much as I have. But I'm definitely lagging a little bit behind comparatively between the two when it comes to tricep pulls. But that is definitely catching up, so I was quite happy about that, because on the previous weight I could just sit there and bang out face pulls, do sets of 10, sets of 12, no problem. And I was having a hard time getting sets of 6 on my tricep pulls. Once I started getting those consistently, I then moved up to the 145, and I think I've been doing these, for 2 weeks now? So yeah, I'm ready to go to 6x7, and once those are clean by the end of the week, which I see no reason why this week coming up I can't do clean 6x7s all week long. I'll be going up to probably 150, maybe 155. I'll play that one by ear, but I'm going to shoot for 155. If that doesn't pan out, then obviously it's going to be 150. You don't want to like seriously overdo it to the point where I can't actually get the work done, because that's not going to help me at all. So anyways, that is that. Oh wow, yeah, that's all of it. So yeah, that's it for week 2, from me at least. So yeah, I'm gonna shut up now.